100,000 years ago, the Father God returned to chaos, and the ancient gods passed away one after another.
Now, only the celestial clans, dragons, and phoenixes,
along with a few descendants of the nine-tailed white fox, remain in the vast expanse of the vast expanse. The Fox Emperor Bai Qian, a descendant of the nine-tailed white fox, fathered a young daughter named Bai Qian. Though beloved, Bai Qian proved rather mischievous. To discipline her, the Fox Emperor entrusted her to the care of the supreme god Qian. The supreme god was the first phoenix to emerge from the heavens. After retiring from the three realms, he long resided in the 10-mile peach blossom forest and maintained friendly relations with the Qingqiu kingdom. The hustle and bustle of the world seemed but a passing fad to him. Upon receiving Bai Qian's care, Qian envisioned sending her to his younger brother, Mo Yuan, to train. He cast a spell, transforming Bai Qian into a man, and then led him to Kunlun Su. A magical artifact appears only once in over 1,000 years in Kunlun Su. On this day, the Jade Purity Kunlun fans suddenly appeared, sparking a scramble among the disciples for it. However, despite their best efforts, they were unable to seize the artifact. The disciples chased the magical weapon, which flew out of the gate and unexpectedly stopped in front of Bai Qian, who had just arrived. Supreme God Mo Yuan also came outside the hall with the Jade Purity Kunlun fan. Bai Qian reached out and the fan fell into her hands, which was amazing. Bai Qian, under the pseudonym Xian, expressed her sincerity in becoming a disciple at the introduction of Supreme God Qian. Supreme God Mo Yuan, with hundreds of thousands of years of cultivation, saw through her true identity at a glance, but he couldn't refuse. The magical weapon had already recognized its master, and if he didn't accept it into his own folding sect, wouldn't it fall into the hands of outsiders? In the hall, Mo Yuan officially announced that he would accept Yin as his 17th disciple and bestowed upon her the Jade Purity Kunlun fan. He also accepted his 16th disciple, Zetto Ailang. Time flies, and Xian has been apprenticing under Mo Yuan for 20,000 years. She particularly enjoys descending to the mortal realm to tell fortunes with her 9th senior brother, Lingyu.
One day, while setting up shop, she encountered a young woman in flowing white.
Impressed by her extraordinary presence, the two eagerly clamored for her fortune-teller's reading. However, before they could even begin, a villain appeared, teasing her, and a heroic rescue drama unfolded. The two hurried back to their sect and departed. However, this young woman in white was no ordinary creature.
She was none other than the supreme goddess Yao Guang, who also resided in Kunlun Su.
The story of Mo Yuan bestowing a magical weapon upon a little fox had spread throughout the three realms, and Yao Guang had come to investigate Xian's true identity. Mo Yuan brought Xian 3 jars of Jian's homemade peach blossom wine, delighting her. She grabbed a jar and tried to relax, but upon leaving, she was abducted by a black aura, causing the peach blossom wine to fall to the ground. 9th Senior, Brother Ling, you heard the jars shatter, and hurried to investigate, but was unable to catch up with the shadowy figure. Senior Brother Defeng immediately gathered his disciples to discuss countermeasures. After ruling out Qing Kong of the Winged Clan as a suspect, they ultimately concluded that the High God Yao Guang was most likely responsible. Senior Brother An Ling Yu reported Xian's disappearance to Mo Yuan, who immediately led the two to seek out High God Yao Guang, captured Xian and imprisoned her in a water dungeon, torturing her, hoping to force her to leave Mo Yuan. Despite her status as a high god, Yao Guang had long harbored feelings for Mo Yuan. Hearing of Mo Yuan's affection for Xian, she became jealous and resorted to this desperate measure. Mo Yuan led his men directly into the water dungeon. As a god of war, he easily repelled Yao Guang's attempts to stop her and brought Xian back to the sect. Before leaving, Mo Yuan challenged Yao Guang to a duel to avenge the humiliation of his disciple's abduction. On February 17th, at the summit of Kangwu Mountain, the final battle between Mo Yuan and Yao Guang took place as scheduled. In this clash, the god of war remained the god of war, and within 10 moves, Yao Guang was defeated.
Mo Yuan asks Yao Guang
To move out of Kunlun Su.
Yao Guang appears quite melancholy, puzzled as to why they, who fought side by side during the great war between gods and demons, have such a strong bond, now seem so distant. The onlookers sigh, lamenting the loss of yet another female immortal, whose heart has been broken by their master. Xiyin wakes up and is told she will be punished by copying Buddhist scriptures 30,000 times, which depresses her deeply. Meanwhile, a disciple announces a visit from Qing. Xiyin goes out to greet her, only to discover she is her eldest sister-in-law's younger sister. Fortunately, Juan doesn't recognize Xiyin as Bai Qian. Juan hands her a letter from her fourth brother, informing her of the birth of her daughter. After reading the letter, Xiyin learns that Juan Wei ran away from her marriage, and her fourth brother entrusted her to Xiyin, hoping she would take care of her for a while. Unable to decide, Xiyin returns to report the matter to her eldest brother, Defeng. As Mo Yuan's eldest disciple and the second prince of the West, Sea King, Defeng's analysis and suggestions are naturally very important. When the two were discussing, Mo Yuan walked in. He agreed to take in Juan and arranged for her to live in the same courtyard with Xiyin. Mo Yuan prepared to retreat for cultivation. He asked Ling Yu to take good care of Xiyin and ensure his safety.
In half a month, Xiyin's ascension tribulation would arrive, and Mo Yuan would find a way to help him.
However, Xiyin was unfocused, and before he had even finished copying the scriptures, he wanted to drag Ling Yu to Qingqiu for a wedding banquet. Although Ling Yu had his master's orders, he, a longtime admirer of Fox Emperor Bai Zi and Supreme God Zi Yan, was uneasy upon learning of their simultaneous presence. Seeing one of them was a once-in-a-millennium opportunity, and seeing them together was an even rarer opportunity than 100,000 years, passing through the territory of the Winged Clan.
Ling Yu and
Xiyin were ambushed by masked men.
After defeating them, they were met with a roar and then committed suicide. Just as they were lost, Qing Kang and Princess Yanxi of the Winged Clan arrived with their pursuers.
Xiyin and Ling Yu, claiming to be disciples of Xiyan, attempted to slip through the cracks.
Qing Kang released the Golden Lion Beast to stop them, and then invited them back to the Great Zimming Palace.
Ling Yu and Xiyin were unable to cast their magic in this place, and now they had no choice but to obey.
Princess Yanxi secretly asked Xiyin if he was married. The Great Zimming Palace was charming yet luxurious, with fine wines, jade and graceful singing and dancing, making it very lively. Qing Kang was very impressed by Ling Yu's talent, and he immediately expressed his intention to adopt him as his adopted son and keep him in the palace. Ling Yu was panicked. If he agreed, wouldn't it be like recognizing a thief as his father? He hastily refused and said that he needed to discuss the matter with his parents, as she had fallen in love with this handsome young man.
Xiyin also hurriedly stepped forward to help him out, saying that he needed the permission of the Supreme God.
This really angered Qing Kang. In fact, when he first met Xiyin, he recognized that she was Mo Yuan's disciple, but he didn't point it out in order to win over Ling Yu. Qing Kang exposed their identities and imprisoned them separately. The eldest brother led a multitude of men in a quest for the 9th and 7th junior brothers, but to no avail. With Xiyin's calamity imminent, he instructed his second junior brother to remain at Kunlun Su while he led his men down the mountain to search for her. Meanwhile, Princess Yanxi, fearing Xiyin's safety, dispatched a black bird to guide her from her confinement.
While fleeing, Xiyin encountered Li Jing,
the second prince of the winged tribe. Li Jing, deeply attracted by Xiyin's clothing, offered her a gift, much to the horror of the young Xiyin. During an argument, the two fell into the lake. Upon reaching shore, Xiyin, believing Li Jing to be a godson, like Ling Yu, fled in terror. Upon learning of his status as a prince, Li Jing approached and grabbed her back. At that moment, their proximity was so intense that he was captivated by Xian's beauty that he quickly let her go. Pursuing troops arrived. Li Jing pretended to be friendly with Xiyin, inviting them to drink and chat. Seeing this, The pursuers Li Jing repeatedly forced Xian to drink, leaving her intoxicated. He summoned his sister, Princess Yanxi, and encouraged her to pursue the man she loved without hesitation. The most important thing now was to hide Xian and send her away when the opportunity arose. Qinghua's second princess was born, the Fox Emperor Bai Zi's first granddaughter. She bore a birthmark on her forehead resembling a phoenix tail flower, hence the name Bai
Qingqiu celebrated.
Upon Xi awakening, 2 maids appeared, escorting her to the hot springs on the second prince's orders. Xian followed the maid to the hot spring and found that Li Jing was bathing with people on both sides.
Li Jing told Xian that she had been drunk for 10 days.
If it were not for the hangover remedy of the Feather Clan, Xian would probably not live long. As soon as Li Jing ordered the maids to leave, the eldest prince chased after her to capture Xian. Li Jing hurriedly protected Xian and held her under him. The eldest prince was helpless to see his second brother acting like a rogue. After all, the more his second brother degenerates, the better for him. After the eldest prince left, Li Jing exposed the truth about Xian's female body. Xian learned from him that her 9th senior brother Ling Yu was suffering from torture and wanted to commit suicide. She hurriedly wrote a letter to Li Jing and gave it to Ling Yu in the hope that he would feel relieved.
Since then, Li Jing would often think of Xian and the scene of the two falling into the water.
He even didn't want to touch the beautiful women who usually surrounded him. Li Jing meets his sister Yanxi to inform her of his plan to send Xian out of the Wing tribe on the 3rd day of the following month. However, if Xian is sent away, Yanxi will have a harder time seeing her beloved after the war between the Celestial tribe and the Wing tribe. Though reluctant, Yanxi can only lament their fate. Unable to bear his sister's heartache, Li Jing conceals Xian's identity from Yanxi. To justify his war, the Wing Lord, Qingkang, decides to hold a ceremony to recognize Ling Yu as his godson. He then sends wedding invitations throughout the 3 realms, clearly aiming to humiliate Mo Yuan and lure him to the Great Zimming Palace. Xian dreams of asking for help from her master, and Mo Yuan senses this.
Sure enough, the next day, upon emerging from retreat, he hears his disciples discussing the ceremony.
He decides to personally go to the Wing tribe to rescue Ling Yu and Xian. That night, Li Jing, drunk and overwhelmed, runs to Xian, professing his love for her and attempting to pull off her clothes before she can even speak. After Xian pushed Li Jing down, he fell asleep in bed. Upon waking the next day, Li Jing was shocked by his own emotional outburst. How could the most romantic man in the Great Zimming Palace fall for a fairy? Unwilling to argue, Xian went outside to relax, encountering Mo Yuan along the way. Mo Yuan led her to defeat the guards and rescue Ling Yu. Meanwhile, Qingkang led his troops to the scene, accusing Mo Yuan of violating the alliance and forcing him to take action. As a god of war, why waste time? He drew his sword and engaged Qingkang in a battle. The powerful shockwave shattered the surrounding guards' weapons, a truly impressive sight. Suddenly, Li Jing appeared, blocking Qingkang's path.
Mo Yuan took the opportunity to escape with his disciples.
Furious at Li Jing's interference and betrayal, Qingkang had his soldiers imprison Li Jing. Yanxi, unbeknownst to her father, released her brother, Li Jing, hoping to allow him to enjoy a moment of freedom in the mortal realm. However, Li Jing unexpectedly stated he wanted to go to Kunlun Su. After returning to Kunlun Su, Mo Yuan calculated Xian's impending tribulation. Fearing Qingkang might catch up, he ordered his disciples to seal the mountain. Thunder rumbled from the sky.
Mo Yuan quickly led Xian to the mountaintop and magically sealed her in a cave.
Xian then realized his master was trying to bear the tribulation for her. However, the seal, no matter how much she cried and lashed out, would prevent her from leaving. She could only watch helplessly as the thunder struck Mo Yuan. In that moment, her heart was filled with pain, emotion, and guilt. If only she had practiced diligently, she would have been able to calculate the date of her tribulation and endure the devastation. Mo Yuan, severely damaged by the tribulation, was forced to retreat into seclusion. Thereafter, Xian officially ascended to the rank of Supreme Immortal. That day, Bai Qian IV, son of the Qingqiu, Fox Emperor Bai Qian, arrived at Kunlun Su looking for Bai Qian. Bai Qian excitedly addressed him as fourth brother. Much to the bewilderment of Defeng, Xian realized her near identity had been exposed, and she quickly fabricated an excuse.
Xian learned from Bai Qian, that supreme god.
Jian had been invited by the Heavenly Emperor to discuss ways to suppress the Wing Clan. It seemed a war between the Wing Clan and the Celestial Clan was inevitable. Though Xian's rank was low, she would not retreat if war broke out.
Supreme God Jian, an ancient god who had long been in seclusion,
remained aloof from the conflict, leaving the Heavenly Emperor helpless. The Emperor believed that to maintain lasting peace, he must control the Wing Clan and replace Qing Kang with someone he had cultivated. The Heavenly Emperor considered Li Jing a seemingly insignificant and fun-loving figure